Napoleon Bonaparte, perhaps the most famous military leader in history. His name is synonymous with ambition, revolution, and conflict. From a Corsican outsider to the Emperor of France, Napoleon's meteoric rise and eventual fall reshaped Europe, and changed the course of history forever. But what exactly made him so remarkable? And what caused his downfall? In this video, we'll delve into the key moments of Napoleonic history, unpacking the man, the legend, and the legacy he left behind. Born on the island of Corsica in 1769, Napoleon Bonaparte's rise to power was anything but inevitable. Corsica, a small Mediterranean island, was a French possession but still had strong Italian roots, and Napoleon's early life was marked by his outsider status. His family wasn't wealthy, but his talent and ambition were apparent from a young age. At age 9, Napoleon was sent to mainland France to attend military school, where he began to learn the art of war. By 16, he had joined the French army as a second lieutenant. But it wasn't until the French Revolution erupted in 1789 that his fortunes began to change. The Revolution, a time of political chaos and social upheaval, offered new opportunities for ambitious men like Napoleon. The fall of the monarchy and the rise of radical revolutionary ideals provided the perfect backdrop for his meteoric rise. In 1793, Napoleon played a pivotal role in the siege of Toulon, where he helped the French army secure a major victory against royalist forces. His brilliant strategy caught the attention of the revolutionary leaders, and by 1796, he was appointed to command the French army in Italy. In Italy, Napoleon's military genius shone. He led his troops to a series of stunning victories against Austria and its allies. His ability to outthink and outmaneuver his enemies made him a rising star. The Italian campaign made Napoleon a national hero, and by 1799, at the age of 30, he was in a position to seize power. France was in turmoil. The revolution had led to political instability, and the government, known as the Directory, was weak. In November 1799, Napoleon orchestrated a coup d'état, overthrowing the Directory and establishing himself as first consul of France. This marked the beginning of his reign, and in 1804, Napoleon would crown himself Emperor of the French, consolidating his control over the nation. Once in power, Napoleon set out to reshape Europe. His ambition knew no bounds, and he quickly embarked on a series of military campaigns that would come to be known as the Napoleonic Wars. The wars began in earnest in 1803, when Britain, fearing Napoleon's growing power, formed an alliance with Russia, Austria, and other European powers. But Napoleon, ever the military tactician, proved more than a match for his enemies. One of his most famous victories came at the Battle of Austerlitz in 1805, where Napoleon decisively defeated the combined Russian and Austrian forces. This victory is often cited as one of his greatest military triumphs, and it cemented his dominance in Europe. By 1810, Napoleon controlled much of Europe, either directly or through alliances and satellite states. From Spain to Russia, his empire stretched across the continent, making him one of the most powerful rulers in history. But his ambition would soon lead him into dangerous territory. One of Napoleon's most disastrous decisions was his invasion of Russia in 1812. Believing that a swift victory would crush Russian resistance and solidify his control over Europe, he led his grand army into Russia. But the campaign turned into a nightmare. The Russian army used scorched earth tactics, burning villages and crops, leaving the French with no resources. As the harsh winter set in, the Grand Army, weakened by hunger, disease, and the brutal conditions, was forced to retreat. Of the 600,000 men who entered Russia, fewer than 100,000 made it out alive. The disastrous Russian campaign marked the beginning of Napoleon's downfall. The next few years saw the empire crumble under the pressure of multiple fronts: Britain, Spain, Russia, and other European powers all united against him. After his defeat in Russia, Napoleon's enemies began to close in. In 1814, a coalition of European powers, including Russia, Prussia, Austria, and Britain, invaded France. The French army, weakened and demoralized, could not hold off the Allied forces. Paris fell, and Napoleon was forced to abdicate the throne. Napoleon was exiled to the island of Elba, a small Mediterranean island off the coast of Italy. But Napoleon was not one to fade into obscurity. In 1815, just a year later, he escaped from Elba, returning to France to reclaim his throne. This led to the brief period known as the 100 Days. During the 100 Days, Napoleon gathered an army and marched towards Paris, hoping to regain his empire. However, his comeback was short-lived. The Seventh Coalition, an alliance of Britain, Prussia, and other European powers, mobilized against him. The decisive Battle of Waterloo in June 1815 ended Napoleon's reign for good. After his defeat at Waterloo, Napoleon was captured and exiled to the remote island of St. Helena, in the South Atlantic Ocean, where he would spend the last years of his life. Napoleon Bonaparte died in 1821, but his legacy lived on. His reforms, most notably the Napoleonic Code, had a profound impact on European legal systems. His emphasis on meritocracy, the abolition of feudal privileges, and the spread of secular laws left a lasting imprint on many nations. Napoleon also reshaped the political map of Europe. Though his empire fell, the ideals of the French Revolution, liberty, equality, and fraternity, continued to resonate across the continent. In many ways, Napoleon's defeat marked the end of the old monarchies and the beginning of modern Europe. But what of Napoleon the man? Was he a hero or a tyrant? To some, he was a liberator, a visionary who sought to spread the ideals of the revolution. To others, he was a warmonger, whose insatiable ambition led to the suffering of millions. The debate continues to this day, and Napoleon remains one of history's most complex and controversial figures. Napoleon Bonaparte's story is one of triumph and tragedy, of revolution and war, of power and downfall. His life was a whirlwind of extraordinary achievements and catastrophic failures, and the echoes of his reign continue to reverberate through history. Whether you view him as a genius or a tyrant, one thing is clear: Napoleon Bonaparte forever changed the course of history. His rise and fall serve as a timeless reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition, and the fragility of power. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into Napoleonic history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos. Until next time, this is Bitter History, exploring the events and figures that shaped our world. See you in the next video.